Advanced English Arabic Learning Session 21. A classic vignette of embassy life. Just drop the act and tell me truth. You can just cut the crap right now. It's nothing but a load of crap. This has been nuts. God reason are piling up. The plains of Texas were barren. A barren tree is a tree that makes no fruit. She was conceived when her father was 49. His superhero outfit is legit awesome. Keep the past in the past. She could keep tabs on me. A duvet cover. He dossed down on a friend's floor. Make a shy person more outgoing. They fessed up to the crime, confess. A flounced skirt. He was trying to get some kip or nap or snooze. The lieutenant. Corporal. Angela undulate her figure. Coxcomb. The muzzle of your musket. He felt apprehensive about going home. The scandal had no discernible effect on his career. She could faintly discern the shape of a skull. We deplore this act of violence. I hated to concede defeat. He spent the afternoon hawking a printing press. She mimicked his voice, imitate. Bassoonist. Intimate relations. The incision was sutured. The effigy is notable for its flowing drapery. The hall of the school was hung with green drapery. The body was draped in a blanket. She draped a shawl around her shoulders. She pulled back the heavy velvet drapes. As a young man he was employed in a draper's shop. The leather upholstery. A hat with a jaunty ostrich plume. Try not to make imbecile remarks. Your billet is here. He didn't belong to the regiment billeted at the hotel. Pray and don't pry. Adobe is essentially a dried mud brick. Adobe abodes. Goods with minimalistic design. This minimalistic dish is absolutely stunning. I am trying to lead a more minimalistic life. Rooms are in a modern and minimalist style. They had a complicated tale of woes. A sweater in 4-ply acrylic. Plywood benches. Multiple trenches. Which multiply rapidly in early spring. To ration the supply. That can be a fluke. Their triumph was no fluke. He had faced death without flinching. Don't call me that, he said with a flinch. He has shown unflinching determination throughout the campaign. Decided not to budge an inch. He wouldn't budge on his decision. He gave her shoulder a nudge. People were nudging each other and pointing at me. The canoe nudged a bank of reeds. We have to nudge the politicians in the right direction. She appreciated the nudge to her memory. We should take a breather. Social ineptitude. Most of his peers dislike him. The daily douche. The theory sounded bizarre and far-fetched. She still found the idea far-fetched. Her far-fetched design for a flying bicycle. When did Dreamweaver come out? Biodegradable waste. Yes, a crush can turn into love. A bulbous nose. He's just chucked his girlfriend, dumped. He chucked a chunk of food to pigeons. Someone chucked a brick through the window. A chunk of the cliff has cracked off in a storm. A toothless old man who was chuckling loudly. A pretty contentious issue. Nothing would content her. because of their low moisture content. The mutilation of the English language. Mutilated bodies. He seemed more content, less bitter. A much hyped dating book. An industry quick to hype its products. She relied on hype and headlines to stoke up interest in her music. A panting dog. I sneaked out by the back exit. Depart furtively. She sneaked a peek at the map. A dream weaver. A sitcom means a situation comedy. She waits for her tot to arrive from school. The bleakness of his gaze unnerved her. A bran mash. The leaves were turning black with rot. A visor is a surface that protects the eyes. A plastic safety helmet with a transparent visor. The phone fits in the driver's visor. A visor cap. The journey over the bridge had unnerved me. She nerved herself to enter the room. I'm dumbfounded. Does extramarital affairs last? Once a cheater, always a cheater. They are former pupils of the school. A delicious meal cooked in ghee. They bunked together in the dormitory. They resorted to arson. To disperse the mob. She had few friends in the locality. They planned to touch base with relatives. He always has a bee in his bonnet about safety. His propensity for violence. A white flag was hoisted. There's anecdotal evidence. The life jacket was of little or no avail. He felt his bowels loosen. Prune back the branches, cut back. His car somersaulted into a ditch. Paula's stomach turned a somersault. Passages for dictation. Slow-paced, didactic lecturing. The nation's rich and diverse wildlife. A worthwhile contribution to road safety. The house had been declared uninhabitable. The man slashed at him with a sword. The tenets of classical liberalism. She's always fussing about her food. A moody, quarrelsome man. Your mom's a real hoot. She began to hoot with laughter. The abysmal fact. One gear meshes with the input gear. The horse was doped before the race. That suit is dope. He failed a dope test. Ensconced herself in their bedroom. He tried to rekindle their friendship. The elder of the two sons is the eldest. The depth of fraternal ties. Members of the hunting fraternity. Mucus mollusks. The scene in Syria is a far cry from U.S. slum dwellers who have been relocated. She proved she is a good filly. My dogs were yelping at you, snarling. She cocked her head slightly to left, tilt. We perched on a half-built cock of hay. Gunslinger is a man who carries a gun and shoots well. A loose or broken magazine spring. She began to toil up the cliff path. A midget submarine. He is a perfectly amiable cove. A cove is a small type of bay or coastal inlet. Someone hit me with cricket bat. My morale probably higher now. His mother had died of consumption. He was guzzling his ale. Unanimous decisions. It is really bugging me. A further laparotomy was performed. Have you sized me up? Intercity rivalries. The city is renowned for its gastronomy. I choose a palette of natural, earthy colors. 3 months in the jug, prison. A pitcher of water. She has big jugs, fountain of youth. This guy has got some balls. She has the balls to show up. An uncharted region of space. He is one of the unsung heroes of the Industrial Revolution. She is the great unsung heroine of British feminism. He was described as an unsung hero of the peace process. Pictures cake. The end. Coming next. Session 22.